Pretty good. Now, Ray, I want to get straight into it, man. So we know this Saturday night it's going to be going down. Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia. How would you rank this fight amongst one of the top welterweight, competitions that's going on probably in the last couple of years?
Well, first of all, I want to let you know it is an honor and a pleasure to be on with you here in San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. What a beautiful place. And I know you hold it down on KMEL. So,
yeah,
you know what? Much love to you and everything. But when it comes to this fight, I got to tell you, these are two guys fighting in the primes of their careers.
Right.
This isn't my grandpa fighting like what happened last weekend, but that's another topic for another day.
Right.
These are two guys in their physical primes getting ready to go at him. Errol Spence, in my opinion, is the best welterweight in the world.
Right.
He's undefeated, 26-0, 21 knockouts. He has an 80% knockout percentage. So what that means from a numbers standpoint, I'm not a mathematician, but out of 5 times that he steps in the ring, he gets knockouts 4 out of 5 times. That's a bad man. Danny Garcia has been a world champion since dating back to that of 2012. When before Errol Spence made his pro debut, Danny Garcia he had already won his first world championship. I think that this is an excellent fight because Errol Spence is coming off of a 14-month layoff.
Right.
He had that horrific car accident where his Ferrari
right.
flipped a bunch of times, and he came out just facial injuries, and he's focused, he's healthy, he's ready to go. I was in camp with both guys. I saw both guys. I visited their camps. Okay. Errol Spence is hitting the hardest that I've ever heard him hit, and I've been around him for a long time. Danny Garcia, focused, determined. Plus, you guys are a great football city. You got a kid from Dallas who's fighting at AT&T Stadium, home of the Cowboys, looking to defend his home turf against a guy from Philly in Danny Garcia. His father, Angel Garcia, told me, we're going to go to Dallas and we're going to sit on the Cowboys helmet when we beat Errol Spence Jr.
Oh.
That is pretty crazy to me.
Okay, so we got a little battle of the NFC East going on right here, huh?
But they're doing it with the fist. They're not playing a foot. They're not playing with the ball. It's no touchdowns. It's, knock each other out. That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of interviewing Sean Porter yesterday, a man who's been in the ring with both of these guys, just fought Spence in his last, fight last year, which I was, lucky enough to actually be there and be a part of and really see the battle that the two of them had. And he just was saying, that he believes for Danny Garcia to really be successful, he needs to see some speed from him coming out early to where he kind of dominates the pace and the tempo of the fight. Do you think that Danny needs to really do his due diligence to kind of get in there and kind of take the fight to Errol more so than kind of waiting for the fight to come to him?
Yeah, well, listen, Danny Garcia is a wonderful counterpuncher. He's got, you've heard of the no-look pass. Well, Danny Garcia's got the no-look left hook. And then he's got a laser right hand. I mean, he's got dynamite in both hands, so he can put you out. He did it to Amir Khan. He did it to Lucas Matisse. I mean, he's done it to countless guys. I mean, did it to Adrian Granados, Brandon Rios, that home run shot, walk-off. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable stuff that he's been able to do. But Danny Garcia has got to start earlier. Now, I don't think that he necessarily has to be aggressive, but he's got to throw more punches. That's a fact. And his father, Angel, told me, he goes, look, we know they're going to be toe-to-toe exchanges. And I believe in my son. I believe in my fighter. And you know what? Danny's going to get the better of the toe-to-toe exchanges. And when they're telling me already early in the week that they're ready to go toe-to-toe, and you know what Errol Spence's speed is. He comes right at you. You were there when he fought Sean Porter.
Yeah.
He went ahead. Who would have thought that Errol Spence would come forward to Sean Porter? He met him in the center of the ring at Staples Center. You were there, and it was crazy. Can you imagine what Errol Spence is going to try to do to Danny Garcia? He's going to come out and try to take the center of the ring. Danny is going to plant his feet, and he's going to let bombs go. So I'm telling you, this is going to be a toe-to-toe battle in parts of this fight.
Now, I know we got 2 belts on the line. And anytime you have, the championship involved, I always feel like that notch is a little bit higher for the reigning champ to really have to prove himself, and especially coming off of this accident, like you said there, Ray. I know you've been in camp with the man, but do you think that there might be something lacking that might give Danny the advantage if Errol is, still maybe having some issues with just sense and kind of where he is, maybe some effects from that accident at all.
G-Biz, you're a very astute boxing observer because you're right. There is such a thing as ring rust.
Right.
Is Errol going to be tentative at all? Is he going to let his hands go in the frequency that he was able to do? Is his volume of punches going to be up? Look, he lands almost half of his power punches, 48% of his power punches that he lands. That is the highest in all of boxing from what I gather.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. That means when he throws, half the time he's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you hard. But will the layoff and will the car accident affect him? I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. I think we get the best Errol Spence that we've ever seen. And I think we get the best Danny Garcia that we've ever seen. The fact that Garcia is 32 years of age, he hasn't gotten that big signature victory at 147. He was a dominant world champion at 140, won a world title at 147, but he hasn't gotten that big name on his record at 147. If Danny can become the first man to defeat Errol Spence, that right there, this victory alone would cement his status as the being a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Errol Spence wins, and if he becomes the first man to stop Danny Garcia, then in my opinion, hands down, you can quiet the critics. Errol Spence, beyond the shadow of a doubt, is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world today.
Okay. I like what you're saying, Rick. You getting me excited, man.
I'm telling G-Biz, I'm telling you, bro, like, my man, like, I am so excited for this fight, man.
Yeah.
Like, if in a perfect world, I'd be out there in the beautiful Bay Area. If you had a big screen TV with the water blowing and the wind blowing through my hair and that beautiful city with the Golden Gate Bridge and everything else, man, that is what I'm talking about. Check it out on Saturday night.
Absolutely. Make sure you get your pay-per-view now. It's about to be one for the ages. Now, briefly, I got to sneak this in here because you did mention it a little earlier. Going back to last Saturday night, right? We saw Tyson get in there with Roy Jones Jr., probably a fight that we've been, we wish we could have got 15, 20 years earlier. But
yeah.
Certainly was great and entertaining just to see these two guys get up in there. What did you think about the whole night? And that includes the undercards, because I want to know your thoughts around Nate Robinson and Jake Paul. Do you think Nate should get back in the ring? How do you think Mike did? And do you think Roy's legs stood up for the whole night?
Listen, I thought to see Mike Tyson in impeccable shape and stuff like that, I thought it was remarkable to see him back, and he seems to be in a great mental frame of mind. Roy is a legend, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the bottom line: I don't want to see it again. I just don't. You know why? Because the younger generation needs their opportunity.
Right.
You don't when you're watching the NBA and LeBron James is doing unbelievable stuff. And I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. I respect him, but I'm a Michael Jordan guy. You don't see Michael Jordan saying, "I'm going to come back," at 50 some years of age. That's crazy talk. You know why? Because Mike is letting the younger generation do their thing. Why is it in boxing that we allow this to happen? Let these young cats like Errol Spence and Danny Garcia have their moment. Muhammad Ali wasn't coming back at 50 years of age when Mike Tyson was blowing through people. Mike, you're good. You're Gucci. You got all that money in the bank. Roy, same thing. You did it one time, cool. When it comes to Nate Robinson, I never want to see him fight him again. Jake Paul, guess what? I got no love for the Pauls. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Chris Paul, Rand Paul. I don't want to see none of the Pauls in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, get them out of my sport. You want to do your YouTube stuff? Go do whatever YouTube stuff you're doing, but stay out of the sport where real fighters are competing at, my man. Go do that crazy. I don't know what the hell they do, but you know what? I don't care. Don't do it in the boxing ring. If you are going to fight a real fighter, real pros that have put themselves on the line, not call out basketball stars. What the heck is this? Celebrity boxing? I don't want any part of it, G. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, Ray. Man, again, Saturday night, let everybody know where they need to be and what they need to do to catch a once-in-a-lifetime fight.
Listen, it's beautiful because you can enjoy your day in the lovely Bay Area, because you guys got some of the best weather in the country. I'm from Chicago, so trust me, I know. But anyways, the pay-per-view starts at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. All 4 cards, all 4 fights are tremendous. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview here.
Okay.
On the undercard, you got Josecito Lopez fighting Francisco Santana. Okay. Francisco Santana told me today he thinks it could be the Gaddy Ward of the West Coast. You know what that tells me? The boys are going to be throwing some haymakers at one another. There will be violence in that fight. You know what I mean? So prepare to be entertained. You know how they used to say in Gladiator, I believe, the movie, they're like, are you not entertained? Well, you're going to be entertained on Saturday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Get your food, get your beverages, enjoy some of that beautiful San Francisco fresh air, and then get in the house at 6 o'clock and lock in for the pay-per-view on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Spence Garcia, it is going to be something that you're going to be talking about for the next 10 to 15 years. Bank on that, my man.
I'm going to be there for it, Ray. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your energy. The astonishing Ray Flores sitting down with G-Biz here on KMEL.